Hi there, in this video I want to explore two cheap alternatives to use your web camera when you record video for social media that will hopefully provide a lot better image quality. So I have this small YouTube where I post mostly gaming related content. It's a lot bigger than this channel but still really small. So I feel like when you are just starting out with YouTube, you don't really want to spend a lot of money on expensive equipment before you are actually making money from YouTube. And that's why I felt it was really interesting to explore kind of what can I use that I already got that will still provide a lot better kind of quality. And before I get started, I also want to say that I don't have any affiliation or endorsement in regards to any of the products or software shown in the video. So anyway, previously I was using this. This is a Logitech 920C. It's a few years old, and the image quality from this one looks like this. And this is totally fine if what you are using your web camera for is Zoom meetings at work. I really wanted to use this snapping effect. Anyway, you will be like this big in the corner of the screen. Plus, your colleagues will most likely be using kind of web cameras from laptops and such, so it will be better than most anyway. But if you are mixing this footage with, like I did, 60 frames per second, 1440p high quality gaming footage, then it will look really out of place. Then this obviously looks a lot better. I mean, it's still not 1440p, it's actually 1080p, but it's 60 frames per second, and like most importantly, the image quality is so much better. I will just change into like my other comfortable clothes. I don't want to do like my hobby in my work clothes, I guess. Be right back. So anyway, here we are. The two options I came up with after some Googling was using my phone, because there are apps you can download that converts it into a web camera, or using an old GoPro I had lying about. And spoiler alert, the phone won, because that's what I'm using right now to record myself. But I thought it was interesting to talk about the GoPro and the costs of using a setup like this anyway, because I have a very new phone, and this GoPro is a GoPro 5, so it's quite old. And the thing I use for the GoPro might be possible to use with a quite wide range of digital cameras as well. So depending on how new your phone is, and depending on what camera equipment you might have lying about, you might get different results than me, and your camera might actually provide better results than your phone. So anyway, let's start with the GoPro. I will not be talking about using the newer GoPro 8 and above as a web camera, because those GoPros got that function built in, so it's plug and play and you can even use them wirelessly. But the older GoPros, like the GoPro 5 I have here, they require a video capture card. And the thing with video capture cards is that they range from very cheap, like this one, $20 or 200 Swedish kroners, to like $300-500 or even more. And this old GoPro can only stream 1080p, 60 FPS. It can record in 4K, but stream directly to your computer 1080p max. So there's no reason to get something better than that. And like just sorting for video capture cards that can record in 60 frames per second, 1080p, you can find some really off-brand, really cheap ones. Other than that, you need a tripod. This one is also off-brand, $20 more or less. And you might also, you probably have an HDMI cable at home, but you might not have a micro one, a micro HDMI cable, and it's cheaper to get an adapter than to actually get the whole cable. So this adapter here is around $10. I don't know exactly the prices in the US. I just converted Swedish prices, which would be 100 Swedish kroners to US dollars. But like taxes and stuff might differ, so it might be a different price, but probably cheaper in the US than in Sweden. So that comes down to a total of $53 if you have an old camera or GoPro laying about. That will probably result in a quite substantial upgrade to the image quality from like a web camera like the Logitech 920C, for example. Let's take a look at the image quality. So this is the image quality I get from my GoPro. It's better than that of my old web camera, but worse than my phone. This of course might depend on what digital camera or GoPro you are using and what phone you have. And it's super simple to install once you get the hardware, that is. The video capture card being the key here. You just plug the video capture card into your computer, connect the cable to your GoPro, turn on the GoPro, add the video capture card as a source in OBS, just like you would do with any web camera really, and just start recording. You might also notice that the field of view is a bit like broader than that of both my phone and my web camera. And there's not much you can do about that without losing resolution, because even though the GoPro can record in very high quality, it loses resolution as you zoom. So this is kind of what GoPro called a linear view. And if I would have zoomed view instead, it would be kind of grainy and actually not that much better quality than my old web camera. You can also zoom out more and get kind of a fisheye view, but then you see more or less the whole room. So that's the GoPro. Let's move on to the phone option. This is using my phone as a web camera. I got a rather high-end phone, a Samsung S22 Ultra, but most modern smartphones got quite good cameras because good cameras on smartphones have kind of been a thing for a while. I think if you have an Apple phone, you actually can use it as a web camera right away. I think that function is kind of built in. But for Android phones, you do need an application. There are several to choose from, but I haven't found one that can stream in higher than 1080p 60 FPS, but even with that, the image quality looks a lot better than what I would get from my web camera or from my old GoPro. I went with Droid Cam. In Sweden, it cost 160 kronor for the OBS plugin version. That would be $16 US. Be careful if you want the OBS plugin version to actually buy that one, because they have like a desktop app as well that you can buy. Well, both are actually available for free, but then you get kind of not as high resolution and you get watermark and such, so you probably want the Pro version. So buy the correct one. So if you want the OBS plugin, buy that one, not the other one first like I kind of did, because that would be a waste of money. But anyway, if you do, it's rather easy to set up. And other than that, you just need a tripod. I found, again, an off-brand one for my phone for, I think it was 340 Swedish kronor, so $34 US, which totals, together with the Droid Cam, $50 US for a substantial upgrade to your web camera. One last thing, and this one is actually important if you plan to use your phone as a web camera and record for like making YouTube videos and the like, and you don't use the microphone from the phone, you use another microphone like I do. I use a Blue Yeti for the audio, and I just use the phone for the video, because I noticed going from the web camera to the phone that suddenly the sound was a tiny bit out of sync. So like my lips wouldn't move at the exact same time as it wouldn't be synced with the sound. So that's something you have to fix. It's not that hard. You just go into your whatever editing software you are using and separate audio and video, and you just move the audio ever slightly forward a little bit until it is synced with your lip movements, and then you got that problem fixed. But like, it's not that much of a hassle, and you really get like a substantial upgrade. So anyway, I think that was everything for this video. Hope you liked it. Hope you found it useful, or at least a tiny bit amusing. If you did, give a thumbs up. I know this channel is very new and hardly have any subscribers, but I plan to kind of do this type of videos going forward, posting small updates on what I do to try to improve my other YouTube, my gaming related YouTube, both in terms of video quality, what I do in terms of preparation, writing scripts and such, or thumbnails, or whatever I can do kind of to keep it growing, I guess. So if you find that interesting, then maybe subscribe. Well, cheers!